Here's the question of the day. Should your first session of D&D or any RPG game that you're playing actually be the first session of play, or should you have a session 0? And furthermore, what is a session 0? Thank you for joining me. I'm Gregory and welcome to DnDaily, my daily vlog where I talk about Dungeons and Dragons and all things RPG. If that's interesting to you, I appreciate you stopping by. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when these videos go live every day. Now, here's what we're going to talk about today, and here's the reason we're going to talk about it. I want to speak a little bit about a first session of your game, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or any RPG. This applies across the board. Do you have a session 0 or do you just jump right into playing? Now, that is a very interesting question, and the reason I'm excited about it is because tonight we are in fact having a session 0 for our new Star Wars RPG podcast. We're going to be playing with the Edge of the Empire system, which is by Fantasy Flight Games, tonight on One Crit Wonder TV. You can join myself and some other amazing individuals as we launch our new podcast and stream. So I'm really excited about this. I'll be updating things as we go, but tonight we're starting with our session 0. We're actually going to sit down together as a group with the GM and the players, and we're going to have a fantastic time, I'm sure, because we're all friends. Now, that being said, even if you're friends, sometimes it's a good idea to have a session 0. Now, we're friends that some of us have played together in other games with other systems and so forth, but we've never played together as a group, and this is a new system for pretty much all of us. So we're going to be learning as we go. So that in itself lends to having our first session actually be a session 0. So what is a session 0? Well, in my mind, a session 0 is when you come together with a new group and you want to sit down together and review some of the mechanics of the game you're going to be playing, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or anything else. You want to talk about how that's important especially if you're the DM, because generally speaking, the DM or the GM is going to run the session 0. You want to talk about what you have as far as house rules or how your play style might come across to the players. You're also going to want to talk about things like, what are the rules of the table? You know, what are things that are unacceptable, boundaries and so forth. You might want to use lines and veils and have a discussion about that. One of the things that I've learned from my friend Clay, who's been playing in our Icefire Peak game on Wednesday evenings, that's Hjormir on Twitter, Hjormir. One of the things Clay has taught me is that having a discussion about the tone of your game is really important. The tone will set the stage for, like, is this some kind of a dark, sinister setting where, you know, everyone's out to get you? Or is it high fantasy with lots and lots of magic? And maybe it's a steampunk setting, or maybe it's going to be, you know, post-apocalyptic. And whether the theme is going to determine like what's available for you as far as resources, but the tone of the game will sort of determine how the game is going to play out. In other words, if the tone of the game is going to be fast-paced with lots of action, you can expect you're probably going to get into some chase scenes, you're probably going to have quite a bit of combat and so forth. But if the tone is political intrigue, well, then obviously there's going to be a high level of role playing. And so the tone of your game is going to be one of the important things to discuss in your session 0. Now tonight we're going to have a lot of fun. This is a Star Wars game, so one of the things that we're going to talk about, because in this game we have a ship. And so we're going to talk about, like, well, what ship do we get and what do we want that to look like and that kind of thing. And so you can discuss things about your characters and maybe the group. How did you meet? These are all kinds of important things to do if you're going to have a long-term campaign. That's why session 0 is important. If you're in a one-shot, you probably don't need to worry about a session 0. In fact, because there is only one session. And so the first session, I guess, implies, of course, that this is going to be an ongoing, or even if it's maybe a short-term campaign, maybe there's only 6 or 10 or 12 sessions, maybe one story arc, that might still be a good opportunity to have a session 0 between the DM or GM and the players. If you're having a one-shot, this is not as important, although you can still take a few moments at the beginning of the game and have some of the same discussions, just in an abbreviated sort of fashion. So that's kind of what I see as a session 0 or a first session. I think if you know each other, if you are ongoing friends that have been playing for years, session 0s might not be important. They might have been discussed, you sort of know the framework, you sort of know how your friends play, the styles of the games, and maybe the details you're gonna work out are much more specific and minimal and can be done, either between chats or very quickly before the game actually starts, and then you can just jump right in with your first session. So I would say that probably a session 0 is most important when it's a new setting, a new game, or a new group of players getting together for the first time. Those are the kind of ideas that I had today. It's because I'm excited about our session 0 tonight. Again, it's on One Crit Wonder TV. I hope to see you there. We're gonna be rolling triumphs, as many as we can when we actually get the game started. We might do a little bit of die rolling tonight just for some fun stuff as we talk about our backgrounds, how our characters are interconnected, and lead this story into session 1, which is actually going to be in 2 weeks. I'll let you know all about that. Oh, and one other thing while I'm thinking about it. We started streaming our Tuesday night game, We Out Here, last night on Twitch. I think we're going to probably start streaming it every week. That's Tuesday nights at 8:30, roughly 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I would love to have you join us. We have a really fun group with a fun story playing out, and it'd be awesome to have you join us over there. That is, of course, Twitch TV/1in20 DnD. I'll leave links in the information on this video and videos going forward as well. I'll see you on the vlog tomorrow. Keep rolling 20s or triumphs until then, and remember, it's your game. Play your way.